Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Good afternoon. If I bring the mic closer, that might help. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Wonderful. Great. Always have to check, Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. It's been interesting since I've seen you last, which was good evening last Wednesday. And real quick, let's just go over the events of the week, which I'm sure you guys won't be surprised, is the FBI showing up at JP's home. Um, you know, I got to tell you that story, actually, how I found out. And so I just happened to have without yeah I figured that, I figured, we needed some sort of an update. Like, put that up there. Yes, absolutely. So um I was on Steph's live. I just happened to show up. uh yeah, he did. I'm gonna go over that too. Yeah, I also caught that as well. No, I saw it, so it wasn't alleged. um Hello, hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Okay, so I just showed up on Steph's live. It was about, I don't know, 10 in the morning, and we're just talking, whatever, about, things about the Micah Miller case. And she's got a couple of screens up on her desk. And she turns around and looks at one of the screens and she just screams. And we're all, what? What happened? I mean, my God, it could be anything. And that's when she had said, the the feds are all over John Paul Miller's church property. So, instantly I'm thinking Soilbach. Yeah, you saw that too, Mary? Okay. And, we saw the car and the pot, the dead body and the whole thing, whatever. I've heard nothing, Linda, about him, him being arrested. Nothing, nothing at all. I know he was questioned that day. So I got very excited about that, of course, naturally, all of us, and I jumped off and, said, let me go tell Angelita, because, I was on my phone. I couldn't really keep both going at the same time. So I messaged her real quick. I knew she was out voting on Friday. And in big letters, feds are all over John Paul's property. By the time she had come to the live and saw what was going on, they showed up at his house. And that was incredible. And let me tell you something. Someone who picked up, oh gosh, sorted out sleuthing, got to give her credit, was on her live last night. And she had picked up one of the agents that was there had a name in the back of his shirt. It was a different name. I wish I could remember what the name was now. Nabbit. But for whatever it was in regards to weapons. It was regarding people who specialized in weapons. Now, why I found that interesting was that about a week and a half ago, AK Guru in North Carolina was arrested by the feds. They did a raid. He was building weaponry and selling it. If you recall, I had mentioned that, I think, last week. And then here's this weapons specialist work. So the FBI's part, thank you, dear, Gamut, GAMUT, was on the back of his shirt. And sorted out sleuthing, had looked it up and had seen that this was a faction of the feds that specializes in, collecting evidence regarding weapons. So I find that to be very, very interesting. I would not be surprised if he was involved. And I'm just saying, I just find it interesting that they were there. As far as I know, they questioned him, found him at Starbucks, questioned him, told him, don't go anywhere. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but that airplane has been in the air almost every day since last Thursday. Every time it moves, I get an alert. And he's been in the air a lot. Now, it could be Mark. It probably is Mark. It most likely is Mark. Only because the plane was in the air while that whole situation happened this afternoon. Um, you know, I was watching it. I had seen what happened. So it looked like the girls, the protester girls, were right outside of the church building, the old church building. And yeah, I just put up an airplane, Patricia. I'm only allowed on, oops, sorry, wrong one. I'm only allowed to put up an airplane. TikTok will take me down. They are so stupid. So the girls were just protesting outside and whatever. And I think he was, in the parking lot across the way where that school is. And he was kind of like tucked between these two cars. And he was, yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a second. The body that was, yeah, Michael, it's related allegedly, and we'll go into that in a second. He was recording the girls, and one of them got really upset. She ran across the street. Thank God no car hit her. And she just went up to him and says, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And I guess they got into a confrontation. He's like, who do you think you're talking to? Or something like that, very confrontational, and kind of smacked her in the hat or whatever with his phone. And she just went absolutely ballistic. Cops showed up. And I mean, yeah, I get it. He ran up to her and she ran up to him and yelled at him. If you look at the two, there's no way she could take him on. So she is not a threat to him. So there was no need for him to lift his hands up to her. So he was in the wrong. I don't care what anybody says. So regarding that body, let me see if I get the name. I actually have the name of the girl that was found. Let me see if I can find that. Dear God, I should have saved that for you guys. I think I have it in the Micah team. Let me see. And yes, her husband, if I'm not mistaken, is from, or her husband's family is from Lumberton. Oh gosh. I did have the information here. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see. And then I want to go over that with that former CIA, not former, I think she's retired FBI agent had said about the raid. Oh, Dee Dee Reynolds. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Kristen. There she is. You got to catch me up, Kristen, Dee Dee Reynolds, and I think her husband's family is from Lumberton. So there is a connection, but I really didn't go into the connection. I just find it very funny how she's on that property. To me, it was almost like a message. But, take it any way that you see it. So I also want to talk to you about the warrant. And if you guys remember you can't hide from the FBI, right on. The warrant was regarding DV over state lines, right? And I did repost an old video when that was mentioned. And it was from June, 25th, 15th, I don't know. But it's called JP has painted himself in the corner. If you haven't already seen it, please watch it again. It's literally explaining that warrant. Basically, what I was doing was I was placating to him pushing that narrative that she had taken her life and that she had not been well in the head. And so I said, okay, let's play your game for a minute and say that this is all true. Then there are laws because of the tracking, the harassing with the constant, relentless emails and texts, the vandalizing her car, ruining her tires, keying her car, and doing this, leaving her dog on the handle of the, apartment for hours and hours and hours outside. So like all the things that he did could have driven her to that. And of course, I explain it much better in the video. It's been a couple of months. If you watch that, that's basically the explanation on what DV would be going across state lines. Because remember, he also, harassed her at her sister's house. When I think she even went to Kansas at one time, or to Texas, he just, was, Jimmy the pastor. Okay, so let's bring him up. Why not? So you listen to Jimmy. Okay. Yeah, he claimed to be a pastor. He said, early on that he showed up on Steph's case files, by the way, everyone. This is a guy who just showed up, said he was a pastor from Anaheim, California, and knew JP as a pastor for about a year, and only spoke to him, in regards to, I guess, pastoral stuff, and was very, I don't want to say pro JP, but he was definitely in his corner, trying to make us feel bad for him, yada, yada. And I went on and I had, asked him, only because he had said, well, I'm never really on TikTok. I don't do TikTok. I don't really go on it much or whatever. I don't know much about it. So I says, well, then if you don't go on TikTok, how did you find this live? I found that to be very interesting and a little coincidental that you just happened to find this live talking about JP Miller and Mike Miller. Of course, he didn't have an answer, and he was kind of helped out. He had no credibility whatsoever. So shortly thereafter, and I tried to be nice to him. Shortly after the show, he not only removed a few things off of his profile, but ended up removing the entire profile. So there you go. Yeah, they just come out of the woodworks. And I'm not saying the guy is not a pastor. Maybe he is, but we know that we've got a lot of wolves or, lukewarms standing on the altar, really making a mess of things. So anyway, I also, I don't know if you guys noticed, there's been a lot of people, the flying monkeys, who like to bring up, this is all financial. This is all related to financial, yada, yada, financial. Okay. If it were related to financial, the raid, let's just say, once again, let's play into their stupid, idiotic comments. Why didn't they go to the church? Wouldn't the finances be a church? I mean, that's where Trisha is. Meanwhile, there's Trisha walking out with boxes after bugs, removing anything that was related to financial anyway. So it doesn't look like financial people, really. It doesn't. Obviously, not just according to the warrant, but according to, who was there, which was that guy who's, specializes in weaponry. I mean, why would he be there for financial? It also got out today that they were fingerprinting the place. Now, this was by a source that I don't even know how she would know, but it would make sense that they were. Now, I want to go over, and I'm sure you guys had seen it, but just in case you haven't, there was a former CIA, FBI agent by the name of Tracy Walder on Sidebar and Law and Crime. Yeah, the warrant does say alone. Absolutely. And I want to just read to you what she had said on there, just a short synopsis of what she had said. It was a full interview, and Regina Ward was also on there. And she had said, if we, the FBI, are there serving a search warrant, charges are definitely forthcoming. I believe this extends to other victims as well as Micah. He may have potentially groomed or to his ministry looking at some of the financial dealings and exchanges with other victims. I think this is larger than assault, larger than murder. I think this is going into racketeering, potentially pornography. Now, racketeering, you know what we're talking about here, right? We're talking RICO. That's big. We, FBI, surveil the person for weeks before serving a search warrant. My guess is this was a routine departure from the home, meaning This is why he left earlier. They waited for him to be gone and then served the warrant. So, there you go. I don't see this as being an issue. They caught up to him at Starbucks anyway. Yeah, Rico. Yeah, that's pretty serious. And I'm not sure if that AK Guru also got Rico, but I could imagine that he must have selling, you know, building and then selling weapons. So I would just assume that that's what's going on. That's crazy that a pastor gets Rico. I'm glad you caught the live too, Linda. Welcome. So let me see. I also have some things I wanted to go. Okay, so real quick, I want to go over some of the trafficking stuff. I don't know if you saw it earlier. And this kind of segues from JP Easy, from what this FBI CIA agent had said into what I'm going to say here. We've got 2,500 people that were arrested by Interpol for age trafficking in the past, I think it's a week or so. 2,500 people. Think about that for a second. And then now this was confirmed by Google's AI. So usually if it's not true, it will say, this is not true. Or it's, a lie, or it's a rumor or whatever. But let me see. Oprah's house was raided by authorities. According to recent reports, the FBI raided Oprah Winfrey's mansion November 2024. The raid was allegedly triggered by revelations from singer Jaguar Wright, who claimed that Oprah had a plan to release a song featured Sean Diddy Combs. The exact circumstances and motivations behind the raid are unclear, but it appears to be related to an investigation involving Oprah's personal life and potential business dealings. So, now that a certain person is in office, DJT, Miss Oprah, it's going to get wild. Today felt like the calm before the storm. So I'm surprised I was even able to get, slave trade. Yeah. It's pretty bad. I expect that it's going to get like out of the blue. It could be tomorrow morning, and all of a sudden there's crazy. Well, he goes into office in January, true. However, I don't know if you saw one of the posts that I put up today, or maybe it might have been yesterday, where it said, military is the only way to go, or sometimes military is the only way. He's already said in a few of his rallies, and then also on Truth Social, that if there's going to be problems with unrest, I hate to use the word shutdown because it's not going to be anything close to what we had before. It's just going to be more controlled. We'd probably, you have to be on the streets for a good reason. It's not just to fool around. It's probably going to be a curfew. Most likely we're going to have, National Guard. Well then, Cat Lady, I don't know what to tell you, hon. That's what you're going to hear here. If it's something that you don't like to hear, then go to another channel. Don't know what to tell you. I'm preparing the people here for a possibility of things that could come and things that could happen. If you don't want to hear it, you really don't have to be here. I don't have a gun to your head. So I'm not in the mood for that. Totally. And he is actually became president last night. So take a chill. Well, I'm going to have to need that mod. Where is she? Anyhow, getting back to reality. Well, yeah. And so we were already told that this is a possibility, this could happen. So I would want you to come here and look for me at least, because if stuff like that starts happening, I'm not going to wait till Wednesday night. You will see, um, you know, sure, yeah, okay, guys, I will. You know what? Do me a favor and send me a message, and I will put you in there because I could use it. Um, well, it's okay that politics, they can say whatever they want because it's over. It is what it is. If you can't accept it, then seek help, because that's what it is. We had to deal with it for 4 years, so get a grip. I want my world back. So there's not going to be any of that, Thomas. Absolutely not. But we already know that there's going to be arrests and stuff like that, and we already know that there are people obviously looking at the chat that can't seem to accept the way things are. So and they don't take it very well. We had to sit and take it uh, for 4 years. But instead, people don't want to hear it, so they get upset. Uh, wow, dude, I'm not talking about that it's forever. I'm talking about right friggin' now. Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. This is just not. This is what we're talking about here on this channel. Okay, I've said it before. Anybody that's ever watched my channel knows exactly what I support, what I believe in. If you don't like it, take off. Okay? Well, what did you have 4 years before, Cat Lady? You want to take me on this one? What did you have before that you didn't have to take out a bank loan for a pack of gum? What was it that you didn't have before? That you didn't have crazy people in the schools? What didn't you have before? What are you missing that you didn't have 4 years ago? Give me a break. Okay, she's gone. You know what? Go find a cat. Get lost. Anyway, go pet your cat. No, really, I don't go looking for people's channels, and I'm sure you guys don't. Looking for. I don't go looking for them. Hold on. She's just annoying. I'm gonna have to do so. Yeah, I don't go looking for their chats and go, oh, I want to talk about how I feel about how things been for 4 years. So don't come on here and give me that crapola. I'm trying to, no matter who's in charge, the point is this is what we're facing. And I would rather talk about that because it is a high possibility that that's what we will be facing. And so, it has been hell for 4 years, and you'd have to be stupid and blind and just. I know you came in peace. Don't worry, Sally. That's. I'm not going to yell at you. It's just Listen, I understand if you didn't like him, you didn't vote for him. That's fine. That's great. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about what could be happening because he's now the president. And I'm not going to sit here and discuss, semantics on, oh, it's going to be January 20th. He's already said, as president-elect, if there was going to be unrest, they were going to do something about it. So, yeah, I think I just did. I think I did, Carrie. I think I did block her. I have no idea. I do need a mod. I need a mod to just, where I could say, hey, can you guys just get rid of this moron? Anyway. Getting back to what we were talking about. So, I had heard that it was going to be an arrest, the next one, that was going to shake the nation. I couldn't tell you what that is. I really couldn't. I don't know who that would be. I thought it would be Oprah, since they've raided her. But would that really shake the nation? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see that. Like, some people might be upset about it, but I don't see the nation being shook over Oprah Winfrey. JMW, I don't know who the next one is. All I know is that that's what was said. The next one will shake the nation. Really, you think Oprah Winfrey could? Well, I guess that's what they're saying, Sally, that they really did raid Oprah. Okay, Obama, that's a good one. Well, wow, Obama. That's would that shake the nation? Obama being arrested? You guys think? No, no, yeah, that's what it says on Google. It was AI. Usually, if it's something that's not true, they'll say this is not true or this is debunked or whatever. Jay Z, Beyonce. No, shake the nation. Wow, I would think that would be heels up Harris, but I guess the nation would be shook up. No, no. Yeah, the groceries have been insane. I remember pre, 4 years ago, I guess you want to call it that, that what I get now was worth about, I don't know, maybe $125 per week. There have been times, and I'm sure you guys understand this too, uh, 350, 300, 350. So please. Um, yeah, Cassandra, I got it from Google AI, so I don't know. We'll just see what happens. It's already happening, so whatever. Mainstream media is not something it could be dependent on. So we're just going to have to see what happens. Point is, I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I don't think I've been wrong about anything that I brought to the table yet. So let's just, the Pope, okay, that might, I could, Diddy is big. Yeah, who's on his lists? That's what I think's happening. Uh, oh no, I'm just no. Yeah, Cassandra. There's just no here. She's just asking about. Did you see Randall back pocket with two phones while cleaning out Solid Rock Church? No, I didn't even know he was cleaning the church. He was there. That's wow. Yeah, the Pope would be a good one. Tripled. Yeah, grocery bill has tripled absolutely, without a doubt. And that's just one of many things. I mean, look at gas, rents. How many people have had to leave their apartments, places that they've been, for decades, and they couldn't pay for them. But Florida went up 400% in their rents. It was insane. Who's on the list? Uh, that's going to be speculative, but I'll tell you what, who I've heard has been on the list. Well, she was just running for president. So there you go. What's his name? There's just so many actors. It's a lot of Hollywood. Clothing industry, big. CEOs, big. I just, there's a list on Twitter, X, whatever they call it now. I always get it wrong. Let me see if I can find it. This is the list of the actors that are leaving. They're always leaving. Every 4 years, they're all leaving. And I always want to help them pack. And I believe that these are the ones that, let me see, these are the ones who are actually on the list. So let me see if I can get there for you. Because I remember I replied, so I should have access to that list. Oh, Pelosi, she's okay. So we've got, here's the list. You ready? Alec Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, Rob Reiner, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Megan Rapinoe, Rapinoe, I have no idea who that is, Tom Hanks, Amy Schumer, AOC, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Bill Gates, Jane Fonda, Madonna, Mark Ruffalo, Kim Kardashian, Bruce Springsteen, George Clooney, Hunter Biden, Oprah, there you go, Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson, Miley Cyrus, Travis Kelce, Bobby Althoff, Rashida Tlaib, Stormy Daniels, Dr. Anthony Fauci, George Soros, Diddy, Diddy's been done. Eminem, Ellen DeGeneres, Sean Penn, Sharon Stone, Ashley Judd, Tommy Lee, Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston, you know who that is, don't you? It's Mr. White. And Billy Joe Armstrong. Now, there's this thing called, and I know Tracy knows what I'm talking about. Unaliving weekend, self-unaliving weekend. Have you guys ever heard of any of those, or anything like that? Self-unaliving weekend, where people were just going to start throwing themselves off the top of buildings. No, JP is not a flight risk. He is not a flight risk. No. The feds are you kidding? The feds are watching everybody he talks to on the phone. Yeah, I guess I could use the word, suicide weekend, where CEOs, celebrities, whatnot, just offing themselves because they don't want to face the music. That's going to come from these lists. I don't wish that on anybody. I really don't. Yeah, everybody said it was a conspiracy, but here we are, and it's still relevant. Yes, Miss Boss Lady, that's right. Okay, this is new. Sorry, guys, I'm new to this. So he needs a shower? He's looking rough? Well, he's probably really, really stressed out. I would think wouldn't you be? I would be massively stressed out. I hated bringing this stuff up. I so badly for the past couple of months wanted to, and I kept praying about it and saying, Lord, I really don't want to have to put on the tinfoil hat, because I know that it's what it sounds like. But then I knew that I needed to get over this part to be able to say something and see what happened. And it did. And then this morning was very eerie, probably most of the day, on how calm before the storm it was, really calm. And now I just, I have a feeling that it's going to get really crazy. So, to some of the people who are like, what are you talking about? That's okay. At least they heard it here first, if that's the case. And when it starts to happen, they can go, oh, damn, this is what Anne was talking about. And it won't, I would hate for it to throw you off. That would bother me more than anything else. I would rather you just know, and then you've heard it, you won't be shocked by it. Like my parents, I used to worry about my parents hearing this stuff and there being a shutdown. They couldn't reach out to me and hear anything. And they're in their 70s and 80s, and I just got this image of them getting really sick over it, and me not being able to help them. So Robert De Niro, just for example, on a talk show, just said his words to the whole audience. They laughed at him. DJT he becomes president, and he's going to come after us. We won't be here anymore. He said it. So there you go. Those are his words. He knows what's coming. So do I think he's selling the church? We're talking about JP. So I think he's gotten rid of the church already. I think church is gone. I think he's liquidating. I think he's been liquidating for a while. I don't know why he thinks that that's a good idea. Well, I guess he needs money. That would be the only thing for his attorney. RD? RD is so disappointing. Who's RD? Who are we talking about? Who's RD? De Niro went to France. Well, that's, why they all go to France? Because there's no extradition. That's why that guy, what's his name, from Hollywood, years and years ago, he married the woman that was killed by Charles Manson. And Romansky, I can't remember his name, but he went off to Robert De Niro. RD is Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro is a little, but they all are. They're all going nuts because of what they know, what they're going to be facing. Roman Polanski, thank you. Yeah, he's been in France for a really long time. If France won't extradite him, who knows? Maybe things will change. We have no idea. 2,500. Let me repeat: 2,500 people arrested for H trafficking by Interpol. Just came out this morning. 2,500 people is a lot of people. So it's not just the United States; it's all over. Last week there was massive amounts of people arrested. I think it was Korea or Vietnam, one of those countries, and all had to do with H trafficking. So it's happening all over, not just here. But it's going to start here now. Robert De Niro hates Trump because he knows it's over. The party's over. The useless eaters are still here and fighting back. We know their secrets. So Sharon Tate, and Sharon Tate was killed by Charles Manson. That's right. Thank you, Danielle. Oh yeah, it's disgusting. Or just organ harvesting and all kinds of. They're sick. Leonardo DiCaprio, he went also to Paris. DiCaprio, I almost called him. Well, that's pretty close, right, Michael? I can't imagine if there was any way to force France to extradite. I don't know how that works if ever these people. That means they could never leave France. That's it. They step one foot out into a country that does extradite, they're in big trouble. So they would have to stay in France. Romansky. Did I say Romansky? Yeah. Well, all right. So I mixed up both his names. He'll be all right. DiCaprio. We'll call him that from now on. Let's do that. They can all go to Soiled Mock. So isn't that sad? Now I have no church to make fun of. What am I going to call? It's not even their church anymore. I can't make fun of that church. That wouldn't be right. France can kick them out. Will they kick them out? That's the question. I don't know. Will they? DiCaprio, it fits, And we got to remember, not everybody in Hollywood is bad. Roseanne Barr was on Tucker Carlson. Oh, please, guys, find Tucker Carlson's channel and find the one with Roseanne Barr. And she talks about, she's an insider, and she talks about some of these celebrities that it's really sad. They didn't want to do any of this stuff. They didn't want to get involved in any of this stuff. And they feel like they've gone too far for redemption. And that's the lie. That broke my heart when I heard that. I actually cried. I don't want them to feel that way because that's not true. Absolutely not. If you're still breathing, you still have a chance to repent. That's just the way it is. So I hope they get that message. So all of them are not like that. You could tell who are like that. Those are the ones in the past 4 years that have come out and really shown what they believe in and who they serve. They've made it very clear. You wonder who's cleaning out Soiled Mock if there's going to be a protest. So somebody had said, if it's going to be virtual and he's going to have it in his house, they should go and protest in front of his house. Now, I know they've done that for other, true crimes or crimes. Is that going to work? I don't, wouldn't the protesters get in trouble for doing that? I don't want them to get in trouble because I know the street is public property, but can they stand in the street without getting in trouble? Law enforcement. Yes, Sally. I would protest law enforcement. Absolutely. Yeah. That's Yeah, and for multiple reasons, not just Micah. Like what they did with that girl Amber, that's just disgusting. Just really disgusting. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to say about if they choose to do it. I'll be behind Andy's yard. You know, Chana, that is a great idea because I bet you he would back that up. I bet you he would support that, Mr. Andy. Yeah, I could see that happening. Amber Berbiglia, the girl that was also found uh, unalived in 2013. That is an 11-year-old uh, case. And the most disgusting part of that I've ever seen was the fact that um, there's a dash cam video. It's on CJ's channel. If you have the chance, go watch it. And it's very alarming to watch because you see the cop pull up and he's behind her car. Car's running, and yeah, TD Jakes. We're gonna talk about that in a second too. And cop pulls up. These two cops, they kind of walk up to her car. Car's still running. They look in it like they don't really check it out. Then they walk back and they start talking. Now they don't have body cams. They have the dash cam is running. They must have forgot it was running, and they're just talking about whatever. And the cop admits that she's laying there in the grass, still warm, and they felt a heartbeat. So 58 minutes, if you guys remember me saying that, I went on and on about 58 minutes. I watched this video, and not one paramedic goes and assesses her, nothing. Nothing. So you're not even going to look to see. So I had gone to a first responder professional in my family, and then the girl who runs the Justice for Amber is also first responder, and both had agreed somebody should have assessed her. And a police officer is not equipped; they're not trained. Um, so I really have a problem with North Horry County Sheriff's Department. Yeah, Joel Osteen. What do you guys say? JD. What's his name? TD Jakes. Um, Somebody was talking today about that the church has their own Illuminati. Dude, I believe it. I really believe it. Yeah. I'm telling you, so much stuff's going to come out. It can sound conspiracy theory as much as you think. It doesn't really matter to me at this point. Everything that was ever considered conspiracy theory has been made true. So, you'd have to be willfully ignorant at this point if you refuse to believe anything is possible. You know what I mean? Just like the cat lady that was in here earlier, it's like Trump derangement syndrome. Just go seek help. He's not, this is not Hollywood. He's not there to entertain you. He's not a pastor. He's not there to preach the word. He's there to protect and defend and be a leader. And I don't want a wimpy leader who gives all our money and all of our freedoms over to open up borders so people come rushing through and then taking. My husband is a legal immigrant here. We had to pay about $2,200 approximately to get him to come here. Wasn't allowed to work for the first 8 months that he was here. Do you know what it makes me feel like to hear that these people come in illegally and they're getting money, his tax money that he works for? He's not even allowed to vote. Okay? And my husband's legal, but his tax money is going to these illegals, and they're staying at hotels and being taken care of, given debit cards, and you're upset, talking to the cat lady, that you don't like Trump. Dude, bite me, really. Yeah, he didn't get paid, and he probably will not get paid in this one either. He's lost money. And again, it's this, I don't worship the man, just do your job. Tell me what president ever has done their job for the American public. You can't name one. Republican or Democrat, it's not even about that. It's about none of them. They all suck. So, um, and they've gotten worse and worse and worse until he came into the office. So, there you go. I'll get off my soapbox now. I know you would have voted, dear. He was up last night. I was like falling asleep, and he's watching it. And every time a state changed, to go, oh, another state just changed. He was so excited. I can't wait till the first time he gets to vote. I'm probably gonna, like record it or something. We all came from immigrants, unless you're an actual Native American. We all came here through immigrants, legal. My family was legal. So who are these people? It's one thing if you're coming here because as an asylum, you're in trouble, your life's in danger, and you come here to seek protection. Okay, you're going to tell me all those people that came through, the criminals who were killing people, murdering people, whatever, you're going to tell me that they were seeking asylum? I don't think so. I wasn't born under a rock, okay? So, no, we need somebody who's going to look out for us. Food stamps and money, and we can't even get help, Americans. And here I'm on disability at the time that my husband and I moved back here. Okay, he's not able to work, and we had to pay $2,200. And I even filed for like what do you call it? It's like a waiver that we wouldn't have to pay. And they went, nope, sorry, can't do it. But these people, you allowed in. Yeah, I'm going to vote for you. Right. Okay. So that's disgusting. That's Stacey. I'm very sorry, because that is and there's more than enough money. And he promised to get our money back from Ukraine. So I want it back. I want it back. Headquarters of H trafficking. Yeah, damn Skippy, I want that money back. And I'm sure you guys do too. Just Robin, how many times have you filed? Because the protocol for disability is 3. I had to do 3, and the usual is 3. And I have no idea, Sally. This is Trump we're talking about. I don't know. What does he do? What does he do? Sanction them? I have no idea. He just finds a way to get them to, he'll give the money to the people. Now, please look up, and I thought this was a little wackadoo. I will admit that. I've never really been able to understand it, and that's really things that are hard to understand. I think this is why people don't believe it. And they tried to put it into law back in the 90s, the late 90s, and it was called NESARA GESARA. I heard last night that it went through. I don't know what that means for us people. So how that's going to look. But I can tell you that already I'm noticing money coming out of everywhere from me and Dennis in the past 48 hours. I don't want to go into, I don't want to go into what's happened. NESARA, yeah. Let me look that up real quick. You heard that also. Right before 9/11, they tried to put it into law, and they wouldn't have it. The National Economic Security and Recovery Act. Now, we're also supposed to be going back to, in 1972, if you guys remember, 71 or 72, we went, I forgot the name of the currency, that fiat. We went into fiat currency where it's backed by pretty much debt. Before that, it was backed by, precious metals. Well, we're supposed to be going back to precious metals. I don't know if we're going to be part of BRICS, but I do. Lawyers are handling it. Just Robin, good. If the third time, you should get the disability. I had to go through a lawyer too, Susan. NESARA is real, and so there was like these tiers. Excuse me, pardon me, guys. I'm so sorry. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 4. And for the longest time, I was watching it go through the tiers. Like Tier 1 went through, 2 and 3, and it was like taking forever for 4. Yesterday, 4 went through. That's what I had seen. And I was like, whoa. So I'm assuming that we're here, and I hope that the people that have Trump derangement syndrome see this and realize they were wrong. I don't want to stand in their face and go, told you so, told you so. But I would like for them to go, okay, maybe I should have given this guy a chance or tried to be understanding. There are a lot of people who've walked away from that party and said never again. Obviously, from last night's election. So, yeah, I had to get a lawyer too. I needed a lawyer after the second denial, and I hired one, and he got me through. You're neutral now, so you're considered neutered. Thank you. I needed that. I really, really needed it. I really needed that laugh. That was very good. Thank you. Yeah, we're standing on liquid gold. I heard him talking about oil, that we had more oil than the Middle East. I mean, wow. That's just, wow. That's all I can say. So let's just see what happens, people. I have a feeling that today was the calm before the storm. I have no idea how long the calm is going to last. I have a feeling I will be seeing you sooner than next Wednesday. If things get really wackadoo, you'll know. I'll let you know maybe 15 minutes before I'm going to come on, try to notify you. You're free from stage is that 4 grade 3 cancer, disability. See, there's a lot of things about this country and what runs the government that has to be revamped. My husband comes from the Netherlands, and that would have never happened there. They take care of their people. They just do. Now, do they pay a lot in tax? A little bit too much, but they do take care of their people really well. That's why my in-laws are afraid to move here. I've never heard of anybody saying they were afraid to move to the United States. Only in the last 4 years have I heard that from my own in-laws. And my husband has not seen his family since 2017. So that's disgusting, if you want to know the truth, because they're a very close family. But and for everybody who is seeking disability, please do not give up. Please. I just said this to Angelita today. She's also going through the process like you guys are. And I know it's very grating, but please do not give up. Even if you get the lowest amount on, please take it. Take it because there's other benefits that you get with it. So by being permanently, like for me, I'm permanently disabled. So appeal, absolutely. With that, it pays. It really does. So there you go, guys. That's what's going on. I wanted to at least give you a heads up because, again, the calm before the storm is very, very calm. I'm enjoying the calmness. But I have a feeling it's just going to come out of the blue. Just very similar to last Friday with the FBI showing up at JP's house. I think that's what's going to happen here. So if you would, please go watch that. JP has painted himself in a corner. That's my video. CJ's dash cam of, what's her name, Amber Birbiglia. And you know what? Let me give you some scripture. This is on faith. And I just wanted to give you something on faith because if, in fact, God forbid, we're not able to get on the internet for whatever reason, if you want to stock up on stuff. I mean, that's fine. I've been doing that. I've been doing this 5 years, stocking up. I wish you lived nearby because I had plenty of toilet paper and water, canned food, the whole thing. Anyway, Hebrews 11:6, and without faith it is impossible to please him, for whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. And then Romans 10:17, so faith comes from hearing, and hearing through the word of Christ. That one's very important because, and I have to reiterate, guys, please go to, can you hear me? Yes, Tien, Donna, I do. I have, yes. You just threw me off. Thank you. Thank you to Tennessee, Donna. The name of this that I follow is Bible. Let me find it. Maybe I can even share it in the chat. I'll go into Google. I'll write scriptures about, I'll say faith, for example, right? And I'll go through. I'll scroll down because I'm very funny about who I'll go to. openbible.info. So let me just put that in the chat real quick for you guys. I think I could do it here. So it's openbible.info. Is that going to go through? Right on. Now, that has a search in there. When you open that has a search. Gateway Bible is very good, but hear me out on this one, because I also have the app. And what I do is I go into openbible.info and I'll put in whatever subject. It doesn't even matter. Just put in whatever subject and you'll have literally a whole list. Let me see if I could show it. I don't know if you can see it. No, of course not. It's too light. But it's literally a whole list of scriptures, just going down scripture that is related to that particular subject. And let's say you see that and you go, you know what, I want to know the other versions. And then you go to the Bible app and you just go into all the different versions. And I'll tell you what, that's how you get a revelation. That in prayer. Do you really, Tracy? What is Q? How do you explain Q? Short synopsis. It was a military, but it was created by the Marines. Military psyop that started back in 2017, and it was just feeding information about what's been going on behind the scenes with the elites to a certain group of people that would listen. And this group of people, and I'm just trying to explain it to where everybody would understand, and then they would go and tell the public. It has been a very difficult. It's been very difficult. Let's just put it that way, and it's a very large group of people. If I'm not mistaken, I think the ones that are Q comes from Q clearance. And it's the highest, I think, level clearance in, hold on. I think it's military clearance. I haven't looked this stuff up in so long that it's through the United States Department of Energy, DOE. Very cryptic. It's very, very, very cryptic. King James is wonderful. King James, but I'll look at, I'm going back and forth here. King James is wonderful. It is military intelligence. I'm just trying to explain it to where it doesn't sound so military-ish. I was trying to give it some layman's explanation. You got King James, you've got there's like a lot of modern English, and I find that when I do the two together and I'll read different versions, even then, if I don't understand what's being said, I will go to the Holy Ghost and say, okay, I'm not getting the revelation here, Lord, help me out. And then I will. And it's just amazing when you get a revelation of a certain scripture, boy, you got that in your pocket every time you need it. And the enemy comes at you with something, you're like, whoosh, all of a sudden you got it's like a weapon. Well, it is written, just like Jesus did when he was face to face with the enemy. And he said, it is written, Q Q can come later. Well, that's all going to come out. I really believe there's going to be a vindication for. I mean, I took the oath and everything, so there's going to be. I think it's going to be vindication. I just don't know when. I of course pray soon, but God's timing is the perfect timing. So, all right, everyone. I think that it's 8:00. I think, if I'm not mistaken, CJ's got a show tonight, and of course, I would direct you in his direction. Again, please look into that Bible, openbible.info, and please check out my video called J.P. Miller Painted Himself into a Corner. And I think that's going to give a real full explanation on that warrant that came through last Friday. And I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. You guys are really so super awesome. You make it worth me coming on. And I will see you guys next Wednesday unless something crazy comes up. And until then, God bless. God bless you guys.